guys, it's Rebecca Oberstadt. So the other day I got in an order from BH Cosmetics, and I had never ordered from the website before, but there was one palette in particular that I really wanted to get because I saw Shelly from Geek Out of Water use it, and I thought it was absolutely stunning. So I ended up getting a few items from BH Cosmetics, but I bought this off of Ulta because BH Cosmetics was actually sold out of it. So I will show you what I used the other day, and then I'm going to use a look using the broken eyeshadow palette that I did get, which I was very unhappy with the fact that it arrived broken. I did contact customer service. I still haven't heard anything back. I got the palette, or I got the box on Monday, and it's Thursday now, and I still haven't heard anything back. So today on Twitter, I went ahead and contacted them via Twitter, and hoping and praying that I get a response back soon. So I used the Urban Luxe 99 eyeshadow palette, and it's kind of hard to get into, but I still have the plastic on it, which I just kind of flip up into the lid because it doesn't have a mirror. The 120 shade palette does, and the palette that I got is the 6th edition eyeshadow palette. So I did a look basically using 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 shades out of it total. That's what, because I used this in my crease. I used this to deepen my crease. I used this until basically halfway. I did this on the inner part of my eyelid, and then I used this as my brow bone highlight and my inner corner highlight. Oh, and I forgot, I used this color all over my lid. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 shadows out of this entire collection. And really, to be honest, the only colors that are in here that I won't use is like this bright blue. Most likely the hot pink, this like purplish pink shade. So that's basically it. So out of 99 shadows, there's only 3 shadows that I don't think will work for me. Now, I might be able to mix that bright blue with, a different shade. And there are a couple, like this orange colored shade, I don't think will match my eyes very well, let alone my skin color. So 5 total out of 99 different colors. So you figure 94 shadows or colors that I'm going to use. And granted, they are the size of about a dime. But, I mean, think of how much you really use eyeshadow. Granted, you're going to have some colors that you love more than others. But I figured I would get a lot of use out of this. So that's one reason why I got it. Now, I also got the classic blush, the 10 color blush palette. And again, I still have the plastic in it. I just flip it up. This shade right here, and this shade right here are too orange for me. And even this one, it's kind of like a peach color. This one here is more like a terracotta shade, like a light terracotta. This one is a frosted peach, and this one is a matte peach shade. So what I figured I could do, if I want to like try and use these, I could either use them as eyeshadows, or I could mix them with other colors in the palette. So out of, 10 colors, there's only 3 colors in here that I can't use, which I thought was, amazing. I also got the nude 20 color lipstick palette, which I'll probably go ahead and put that on now. And again, the plastic is still in here. I have used it. Let's see how many colors in here I've used. I have mixed and matched shades. So I've used 4 shades out of here so far. Plastic is trying to get away with itself. So I have used 4 of the shades in here so far. I have used this nude, this like mauve shade, and this was more gray than like a nude. I've used this brown, which is more like I thought it was like a brick red color, but it's not. It really is kind of like a straight up brown. And I've used this color here, which I thought was a burgundy, but it's more like a brownish reddish purple. It's unique. So instead of using like an itty bitty lip brush, I've just been using a regular synthetic brush that I don't use for anything else. And I wash it every other day, especially if I'm dipping into the same colors. So I'm just playing here. I have to get a shower here in about an hour and a half, 2 hours to go somewhere. So I think I'm going to go in with this shade right here, which will determine the color that I do for eyeshadow. And since I'm going to be using the eyeshadow palette that is broken, I'm waiting to hear back from customer service because I've got eyeshadow all over the place. And just to show you one of the sides from the top, because I don't really want the whole eyeshadow, like all the colors to fall out. But this shadow here, it's not picking it up really well. It's like broken all on the side of it up here. So, and there were several other shades in the top that were broken, and there's like powder on everything, and there were a couple of shades in the bottom that were broken. Now, thankfully, the shades in the bottom that were broken were more bright colors, things that I wouldn't wear. Some of the blues and a couple of the green shades were broken. But on the top row, it was basically like the neutral shades that were matte colors that I actually would use as either an all-over lid color or like crease colors and stuff like that. So I was really upset about that. So again, I've already got this color here on my brush. And I don't have any other colors on this brush. It's just what I've got on it right now. I have no need to overdraw. My bottom lip is big enough. Sometimes it helps to get a little closer to the mirror. So this is more like a berry color with a hint of brown. And again, it is a matte shade. All of these are matte shades. None of them have shimmer in them at all, which I kind of like. And one good thing about this palette that I noticed when I used it the other day was that it feels like I have cat hair on my lip. Or dust. Yep. Piece of cat hair. Typical. Is once you put the lipstick on, it stays for quite a while. Now granted, it's going to come off when you drink stuff or if you eat stuff like that, but it does kind of like stain your lips so that whatever the color that you've got on, it kind of like sinks down into your lips and it stays. And it seems rather moisturizing, which I just colored outside. I need to quit trying to talk and paint at the same time. But it like leaves the color still on your lips. Now granted, it's not going to be as vibrant as it was when you first put it on, and this is way too big to put in your purse, but this gives you an idea of the formulas for their lipstick, which is one thing that I was looking for, was to see what shades I liked, what shades I didn't like, so that I could look at their website and figure out what I liked or what I wasn't going to like. And so far, I really like this. If I actually need to take some color with me, I do have, let me put my brush back. I do have these little, this is from Mary Kay, this is ancient, but I do have little retractable lip brushes, so I could easily like load this little brush up with color and do this and stick it in my purse and be ready to go. And it's got a like tight enough seal on it so I wouldn't have to worry about it running around my purse. Even if it does, this isn't exposed, and even if you push it, let's see how far. Okay, so I would have to push it to there just to get the tiniest tip to stick out, but you have to push it, even here to get it completely exposed. So right there is where it's completely like there's nothing hanging out of the top. So even if it did run around on my purse, the only thing that might happen is, purse lint or, tissue dust or whatever would get on the inside of it. So I really liked that. Now, I did get their long wear eyeshadow primers. I got Smooth Canvas, which is a pearlescent white shade. And then I got Bisque, I think. Yeah, Bisque. And you can see that, oh, you can barely see it. There's the light in here is just overpowering. But I've only used like a little bit of it. So I'm going to use this like tapered dome. This is a synthetic brush. And this stuff is like really stiff, trying to stick a brush in it. And what's really nice about this, other than the fact that it's, like I said, really stiff, is it's not like some of the other eyeshadow primers that I've looked at. They're a lot darker than my natural skin color, so it's like obvious that I'm wearing something. And I also have the e.l.f. one, but the problem with the one from e.l.f. is once I put it on my eyelids, it like feels greasy. So I'm like, what's the point of putting on an eyeshadow primer that feels greasy when your eyeshadow disappears within like an hour of you putting it on? Maybe if I put it out like that and spread it around. And I didn't dip in like I did the first time. And I just kind of spread my eyelids so I can get it all the way up to the lash line. And just like I would with, any makeup brush, I'm basically going back and forth in windshield wiper motions to make sure that my eyelid is completely covered. And this side is already dry. It's like very velvety feeling and soft. This side's still a smidge tacky. So I'm going to put the lid back on Bisque. I am going to be using the other one, so I'm going to keep this brush out. I'm going to try and already my eyes are watering just from putting shadow on my lid. I did grab the wrong brush. No, that is the right one. Alright, so I'm going to use the Luxie 249. This was one that was specifically made. Let's see if I can get the light to pick it up or cover it up so The light in here, and plus it's rose gold, so it's kind of hard to see, but it's got a blending brush on one side that is like super soft, and then they've got this like tapered end. So I'm going to use this to set a color all over my lid, even though I really don't have to set this with powder because it already feels like powder when it dries. I don't know, I guess it's one of those peace of mind kind of things. And this is like a light bone white shade. And I just kind of wanted to lighten up my whole eyelid area. And drag some down underneath. And I know I've got black circles and whatnot. Which one I would put water in. You know what, let me zoom you in a little bit. Don't know how well this camera will focus. I didn't pay for it, it was a gift. This was a I'm sorry I missed Valentine's Day gift. Alright, so now I'm going to take the blending side of the brush, and my mirror is down here, so I'll try and look up and use my big mirror versus this one unless I absolutely have to, and then I can always pick up this one. I'm going to use one of the broken eyeshadows. And I kind of tap it at first. And of course now the air comes on, so it's going to be difficult to hear me.